Okay, well, we're here today with Matt Santamore, who's an athlete at Missisquoi Valley Union High School, and we're going to talk primarily about basketball, but it's hard to talk with Matt when you don't bring a bunch of other sports into the equation. So the first thing I'd like to ask you about is the golf tournament that you had with your grandfather, Joe Frykowski, this weekend. Because Joe built the soccer program at MVU and built all the fields and had great success here. So how did that golf tournament go?
It went really well. It was a lot of fun, definitely, to get down there and spend some time with him. And we actually came and tied for first, but we lost in a tiebreaker that they gave. But it was a lot of fun, and it was for a good cause, rebuilding the golf course after it got hit by Hurricane Irene last year. So yeah, we were 10 under for a 4-man scramble, so we did well.
Good. Now, just to mention the other sports briefly, you have competed in state championships your freshman year in soccer and basketball. Your sophomore year, you won state championships in soccer, basketball, and baseball. Your junior year, you played in the semifinals in a higher division in soccer. In basketball, went to the playdowns. And in baseball, this past year, you went to the state championship again as the main pitcher, and versus being the closer that you were the year before. How have all those experiences shaped your view about athletics and at MVU?
Well, it's definitely great to have all that success coming up in here. I've always taken pride in everything I can do to represent the school with the athletics and academically and everything else that comes with being a athlete at MVU. And I try to just do the best I can, and all the success that we've had in the last couple of years has been a lot of fun. Great group of guys, and just it's great to see the community come out and support us.
So this past year in basketball, after winning the Division II championship the year before, you became not the younger player on the team that played with a bunch of seniors and won the championship, but you started becoming the elder statesman of the team, and as a junior, and this year as a senior. How does that change your vision about the team, or what you feel that you have to do there?
Yeah, well, coming in as a freshman, as a competitor, I thought that I wasn't getting enough credit, honestly. But we had some good players my freshman and sophomore year with Kyle Lumpson, Ben Fournier, Adam Hubbard, Jeff Rose, the group that we won the championship with. And I kind of felt like I was being overlooked a little bit, so that always made me a little more competitive and get out there and work even harder to try to show people that, hey, they're still here as seniors, but a lot of it wouldn't be done without me. So I mean, I kind of took that, used that as an edge to my game, and kind of came out and competed against them every day in practice. And then after they graduated with all the success that we had as a team, we definitely needed to rebuild because we lost 4 probably of the best players that ever went through MVU. So I knew that I was going to have to step up my game even more and carry a load that they carried in the previous years. So that was a challenge to do, but it was definitely different going from being such a balanced team to having to carry a lot of the load. So it was fun in that way, that I had to change my game, change what I was doing, and just when it came down to it, I just needed to do all I could to help the team win.
Well, and when people watch the clips, they'll see that your game is far from one-dimensional. You're hitting people with passes in every conceivable way, and when people watch the videos, they'll also see that you're usually double or even triple teamed, and certainly always had their best person guarding you and trying to bump you and throw you off your game. Does that get a little bit old sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, coming into games, I know I'm going to get every team's best shot just because of the reputation that we've built up here. So that means that I always need to come out with my best and always come out fighting as hard as I can. And then with the passing thing, yeah, I've heard some various ball hog chants, another couple of little shots at my game from various fans or other players. And then the biggest thing coming in as a freshman, a couple of my teammates used to rag on me about I don't play any defense. But so that and the passing are definitely things that I've worked on a lot, and I pride myself in of being a good passer and a good defender now. So I try to do it more than one way. If they try to take away my scoring, I'll get my teammates involved and definitely do whatever is necessary to win the game.
If people watch the video that is on YouTube of the Division II championship, they'll not only see defense and driving to the basket. That it wasn't a great day for threes for you, but that didn't matter because you did the passing, and there are all sorts of defensive tips that you got when the other team was trying to pass that almost go unnoticed, but kind of changed the game. So tell me a little bit about that championship game, because that was a lot of fun to watch, to be there.
Yeah, well, I mean, the championship game, semifinal game, and then the two freshman year, my jump shot just weren't falling, so I had to figure out some way to help my team out, even though I didn't have the jumper going. So I attacked the basket more, focused on getting to the rim, getting other people involved, maybe getting to the free throw line, and just trying to change my game and not just be one-dimensional. And I think that's where I've improved the most since freshman year, was doing the little things that count. And I know that when coaches look at a player, they don't only look for who can score, who can fill it up the most. They look for the person that comes out with the most effort, does all the little things like rebound, pass, box out, play defense. All of those things are just as important, if not more important, than who scores.
There's one spot in the video where you take the center jump, and it goes to one of your teammates, and then they throw it back to you to bring it up as the point guard. So this was last year, actually. Yeah.
That's definitely one of the changes with from my sophomore year to junior year. I was probably the biggest guy on the team, led the team in rebounds, and also the point guard. So definitely helps me become more well-rounded as a player.
Let's go through this last season and kind of the point plateaus here. You hit 1,000 at the Mackenzie Pratt tournament. Then you passed Todd Raleigh during the BFA game here, right? And that was at 12:28. And that record had stood, boys' record had stood for 25 years, since 1987. And your family was brought down at the Mackenzie Pratt tournament when you hit 1,000, and then in the last game of the season against Burlington, you passed Laurel McWilliams, who had the overall point record of 1366, and that had stood for 6 years. So what did that feel like?
And as it turned out, it was somewhat of a rough night anyways, so at that point I didn't really want to celebrate anything because we had just lost our playoff game, but it was still a great accomplishment. I mean, that was one of the goals I set for myself coming in as a freshman, as what I wanted to accomplish here at MVU, and part of the reason why I didn't want to leave and go someplace else to play. And Laurel was one of my role models growing up as well. I always went to watch her games and watched her play, learned some things from her, kind of modeled some of my game after hers. And we were close growing up as well. She often babysat me at my house, and we would get some pretty intense one-on-one games going on, and she would put a beat down on me most of the time, but then when I started to get older, they were getting closer and closer, and I think finally the first time I beat her, it was pretty exciting. And then after that, I just kind of took off, and I saw her break the record actually of becoming an all-time scorer, so I remembered that, I remember what it was like, and I remember on that day I said, hey, I want this to happen for me as well. I want to be there breaking her record someday. So
Yeah, I remember her being a very physical player, so it probably took a while before you got big and strong enough to take her on that way.
Yeah, she definitely threw me around a little bit when I was younger, so.
Great, okay, well, following that up, you, sometime in, I guess, April, you found out that you were Vermont's Mr. Basketball, was chosen over other juniors and probably several seniors too. And then in June, in recognition of your accomplishments in soccer and basketball and baseball, you were named by the Burlington Free Press as their Male Athlete of the Year.
Yeah, that was, I mean, coming in to the basketball season, I was always asked, well, how are you going to back up your state championship season after losing 5 other seniors that contributed to that and kind of in a rebuilding year. And I kind of thought about that for a little while and how I could make this year special and maybe not even better than the state championship year, but in some ways just as good. And when I sat down thinking about my goals, one of my goals was definitely to be Mr. Basketball, and then also Gatorade Player of the Year were some of my goals. And I was able to accomplish that by just playing as hard as I could every minute of every game. And even though we didn't win the state championship, I kind of accomplished some of my goals as an individual to back up the state championship year. And then in June, when they named Male Athlete of the Year, that was, I mean, that's an award that I think I almost cherish more than the Mr. Basketball, because it means even more to me because of how much I help out MVU athletics. And I kind of take pride in that I'm a 3-sport athlete, and I want to do whatever I can to help out all of MVU sports. I mean, that's why I even ran cross country the last couple of years, because it's a way to compete, and I love to compete. Anything that I can get out there and do in competition for MVU is definitely something I want to do. And they had a good group of guys, and I said, hey, if I'm any good at this, why not go out there and help them too? So I kind of want to keep playing 3 sports to do what's best for the school, and anything we can accomplish in any of the sports is definitely something great for me and for our school and our community. So. And
just so if people are wondering, Matt is not only an athlete, Matt is also maybe not right at the very top, but very near the top of his class, and is very active in community service of various types. It almost sounds like you make the athletic program part of community service, of running for the cross-country team. Did the cross-country team win some award or championship?
We came in second. We just got beat last year by Middlebury, and then the year before we actually came in second as well. So it was close. Thought we had a chance, but we just came up a little bit short. So
second in the state, still not bad.
Yeah, so.
If Mr. Sargent, your baseball coach, would let you, you'd probably play on the golf team and put us right up there with the golf too. But,
yeah, I tried that a couple of years ago, but baseball coach wouldn't have it. So.
With all these accomplishments and with how hard you work, what would you say are your athletic goals for this year? Because it's in a way it's a hard act to follow, but I have a feeling that you'll be working on that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about that a lot lately, coming in my senior year, and how it's amazing that I'm already a senior. Like I've been telling everybody, seems like just yesterday I was out trying out as a freshman for the soccer team, not knowing what to expect. And then after these last 3 years, this year is kind of like almost surreal about what's happened the last 3 years, what I've accomplished. And this year, I've kind of taken the attitude of this is like one last go around, so just give it everything I have. And this one, I've always been playing for the upperclassmen that have been seniors in the years I played, like freshman year. The senior class that we had was a really good class, especially for soccer. Coming out here and wanting to give it all for them. And then sophomore year, obviously, we had a great senior class, winning 3 state championships. So I wanted to win it for them and give them something to end their career well by. And then last year, playing for the seniors that I've grown up with and played through all my years growing up through elementary school and then all the way up through last year. So I wanted to send them off with a good year. So then this year I'm kind of just thinking like, hey, this one's for me almost. It's my last year. I'm going to go out here and give it all I can and just play as well as possible and try to get as many wins as possible for our school.
Yeah, I have one last question for you. There are going to be some young kids in the community, and probably even more widely spread than just this community, looking at this video. And what advice would you give to young players coming up regarding sports and school?
Well, definitely with the school part, to focus on that a lot. You can't do sports without school, and without your academics, you're not going to go as far in life, because eventually all sports will come to an end, and then you'll need something to do to make a living by it. So definitely to take care of your schoolwork first, which my parents have always stressed to me from when I was born. As long as I can remember, they told me that I need to take my academics seriously and do even better in that than I do athletically. So anything I accomplish athletically, I need to do even better in the classroom and make sure that I'm doing the best I can and work even harder in that. And then athletically, just to follow your dreams and do whatever you want to do. Don't let anybody else tell you what you can or can't do, because those people, there's always going to be people out there telling you that you're not good enough, or you're not big enough, you're not strong enough, and just use those people as fuel to work even harder, because the harder you work, the more you prove those people wrong, and when you prove them wrong, it's going to feel a lot better when you do. So just keep working.
Is there anything else that you wanted to, like a question or something that you wanted to answer for yourself, or something you wanted to say?
Well, I've been thinking a lot lately about what I want people to remember me by as after I graduate, and then maybe 20 years from now when I have kids of my own, and then as they're going up through high school, and then what other people are telling their kids about me. And I've kind of wanted to be remembered as someone who's been a great role model for kids growing up. I want people to be able to follow what I did, follow my footsteps, hopefully break some of my records that I broke here, and see other people accomplish just as much as I have. And that's why I've been so close with MVU, and I've felt like this is my home, definitely. So I've always stayed here because I want the best for this community and to see other people succeed in the future as well. And when I came into my freshman year, I set a lot of lofty goals for myself, and one of those was to be remembered as one of the best athletes to ever play at MVU. And I feel like that doing this I would need to play in all 3 sports, which is why I've continued to play in all 3 sports and work at all 3 sports and work as hard as I can to help those programs succeed, but also to be the best athlete that I could possibly be, because I know if I gave up on one of those sports, I would give up and regret for the rest of my life of giving those up. So I want to be remembered as one of the best athletes and best basketball players especially to ever go through MVU.
Now, do you think that you might want to coach at some point?
Maybe in the future. I felt like I've had a lot of good coaches, a lot of good experience and exposure to all kinds of different coaches throughout my high school career. It's always fun to see them when they get something and to see them click and then go out there and do it the right way that I just told them to, and to feel the sense of accomplishing something by teaching somebody else how to do something is definitely really cool.
Great. Okay, I think we're good.